from Taiwan. Today I would like to talk about, can we see the screen? Not now. It's okay, I can talk about my own story. Cofacts means collaborative fact-checking, as means plurality. That means we are diverse and also show equality and how we work for the whole wide world. Actually, it's a picture from Freedom House. It shows with different kind of color. It shows different kind of like freedom of speech and also the different kind of freedom. You can see like in North America and Canada and also like Taiwan, Australia, all in green, right? However, for those suffering from purple, like Russian Federation, like China, and some like Middle Asia, it shows a different kind of like aspect to see, do they have those kind of freedom of speech, and also against censorship and human rights issue. April 7th is a Taiwanese freedom of speech day. We do have a like distinguished holiday, a day for freedom of speech. Because like around 17 years ago, there was a male who was a really clever one. He launched a magazine called Freedom Generation. However, during that time, Taiwan do have an issue with like, so it's a historical issue. Like Chiang Kai-shek and with some like Chinese immigrant immigrated to Taiwan and take charge in Taiwanese government. So during that time, they call themselves like Republic of China. So that's also the reason why Republic of China do have the conflict with People's Republic of China with PRC and OOC issue. They're also trying to, they do have like compete relationship inside United Nations to see who can represent China inside the United Nations. Chiang Kai-shek doesn't like that kind of idea. Chiang Kai-shek doesn't speak a single Taiwanese word. Me, born in Taiwan, grew up in Taiwan, my grandparents, they speak Taiwanese and Japanese. Taiwan do have a colonization history, like not only Netherlands, Spanish, Japanese government, but also Republic of China, who represent Chiang Kai-shek's government. The clever male who launched the magazine called Freedom Generation magazine. He supports Taiwanese independence. However, during that time, it's toxic for the government because Chiang Kai-shek wants to make Taiwan as a military base to fight back to China. And as a result, the clever male who do a self-immolation, like burn himself, trying to show how freedom of speech is crucial, is important inside Taiwan because he launched the magazine, he launched a lot of movement on democracy. Nowadays, Taiwanese do have the idea, because of this male, to think of who your representative, like the importance of freedom of speech. Who do you think like the importance to get engaged with the politics? During that time, my grandparents, my parents, you might get sent to the jail. You might got killed by the government because you talk about politics. You might get sent to the jail because you think of like, to talk about something that is regarding the political issue. And also some song, some conversation are banned from the government. There was a song that's really important and really famous in Taiwan. Everybody knows it. It's talked about like a young girl and who fallen in love to see, oh, there was a cute guy, he's so cute. However, that song was banned 70 years ago because the government during that time, Chiang Kai-shek's government think of, you should not like talk about a lot of affection or love. Last week, Chinese government, the PRC, what's that called? The People Liberation Army, they sent 2024B, the joint SWOT around Taiwan because of the military exercise. There's quite a lot of military drill along from Taiwan, turning around and around. It shows a different kind of condition, like Taiwan is in the front line. And we are talking about some issues around freedom of speech. And as a result, Chinese government sent a lot of military drill to Taiwan. They show the difference from us to China. This grid also shows different around Asia Pacific, Taiwan shows different kind of score compared to China because of the protection of freedom and protection of how they show their will, how they show their ideology, how they show their political ideology to democracy. And what we're trying to do is with openness and democracy. These three projects are done by me and my partner. First is Cofacts. We're trying to dealing with the disinformation issue, trying to fight against disinformation by protecting freedom of speech. The way is to develop an open source fact-check chatbot fighting against disinformation. If someone forward disinformation to the chatbot, or you can add a chatbot inside your closing chat room. Once someone forward disinformation, they might receive fact-check report and the references from the chatbot. The chatbot has 3 AI features. First is multimedia fact check. That means you can do fact on text, images, and video, and audio. Second, AI classifier. There's quite a lot of journalists and reporters and also think tanks trying to do research regarding disinformation. With this AI classifier, they can show different kind of specific topics like energy, like disease like COVID-19, like international relationship. And the third, we also connect to a large language model trying to provide media literacy, digital literacy lessons, and tutorial to the readers who receive this information. There's quite a lot of creative disinformation. For example, they say, due to over 100 countries' veto inside United Nations, the headquarters of United Nations might move from New York City to China, Shanghai. Because they show an issue the USA is not respectful toward human rights. Second, due to Taiwan and USA do have a free trade contract, they say Taiwan would like to import USA pork. However, this information from propaganda, against opposite party and also Chinese propaganda, might say the pork from USA contains ractopamine, and those ractopamine pork are toxic. If Taiwanese people, Taiwanese citizens, receive those pork from USA, they might have some a severe issue inside their kidney, or they might make their penis shrinking, which is totally nonsense. Quite a lot of disinformation. And also, they also inherit to COVID-19. They say mRNA vaccine generated in USA, namely Moderna and Pfizer. They say those kind of changed DNA vaccine might also change the gene in Taiwanese citizens. As long as some parents take those kind of vaccine from USA, their grandchildren might doesn't look like them anymore because they change their gene and change their DNA automatically. Those kind of disinformation not only be harmful to democracy, but also be harmful to what trust should be. The other cases is due to those kind of disinformation, we're trying to influence our Congress and Parliament. So with open Parliament issue is my partner launched a website. You can call, you can contact your Parliament member directly via telephone, via text, on the internet, to do petition, to do lobbying, to the member represented in your district, and to show different kind of cases to see what you can do as a citizen to influence politics. The third, show the transparency due to the issue between Taiwan and China, and also Taiwan Strait issue. The website show you if your legal entity got influenced by not only Chinese government, but also Chinese businessmen. Because in some cases, with democracy and with the right of voting, sometimes people might lose their right by democracy. Why disinformation is an issue to our democratic society? Because malicious users, malicious nationality, they might take advantage of a democracy system to let you abandon your right to a democracy. Might you like to abandon your right inside election or electoral society. With transparency, you can see where the capital coming from. You can see who is behind the legal entity. You can understand who was in charge behind this website, behind this business, behind this party, behind this election candidate. We launched a fact-check chatbot. Most important of all, it's open source. We always believe open source can be helpful to global partners. For example, in Thailand, they use our source code, make a Thai version in their country. Actually, we always believe, like in Thailand, they do have an issue is, there was a crime called insulting the royal family. In Thailand, you are not allowed to talk about the royal family. You are not allowed to talk about the king. Once a Thailand fact checker contacted us trying to reach some help from Taiwan. And also, I have another request to our Thai partner. However, what the answer is, I may tell you the answer. However, you may not tell everyone that your answer is from me. Because I'm a guy as an issue, we cannot talk about the royal family because that's a disinformation regarding their king. As a citizen who value democracy, who value freedom of speech, all the government trying to see who is behind the disinformation, who is behind this. Can you trace who generated this disinformation? Who do you think the disinformation coming from? Is it from China? Is it from Russian Federation? We've got to send them into jail. However, as a non-profit organization, we always believe we can trigger the goodwill from the human rights, from the human in their heart. So we're trying to provide civic empowerment. We provide accessible information. Whenever they forward this information to the chatbot, they might receive fact-check report. So all this, how that works, the user that forward this information to the chatbot. Inside the database, we connect this information with a fact-check reply generated by our fact-checkers. As long as our data accumulated for quite a long time, that means we can answer almost every disinformation. They are disseminated on the internet. They are going viral on the internet. And also, we show those who have the request, who appeal disinformation, are the ones suffering from disinformation. Sometimes I receive an email from the government. They say, can you show the personal information from the one for what disinformation to you? We always reject because they are the ones suffering from disinformation. They post the disinformation because they are questioning about this. They are not the one generate or trying to make this information got disseminated on the internet. That's how we build the trust. Not only in Taiwan, but also in USA, in all the countries around the world. We show this information as a common issue. And what we're trying to do is to make fact-check chatbot be open, show our transparency, and show what we could do to help global partners. For example, if someone forwards this information, like I mentioned, they say, oh, gay in Tennessee might get married to Taiwanese gay to reach Taiwanese free medical care, and cure HIV positive for a long time or free, which is totally nonsense, total disinformation. Inside the chatbot, they might receive a fact check that they say the message is fake. And the reason why is all the foreigners and all the citizens, all the residents in Taiwan receive free medical care. It doesn't matter they need to be a gay or heterosexual people or homosexual people. Trying to make chatbot work really well inside the society is also the way how we help global partners. Like in Netherlands, like in Sydney, like also in USA, in Indonesia. All the partners who are suffering from disinformation, who are trying to have a tool, help them to combat disinformation. What's the importance of the chatbot? The chatbot can answer the question even at midnight. They can answer the question in the morning, in the afternoon, at nighttime. That means we can do a saving from the human resources. We don't need a lot of journalists and reporters answer those kind of questions day after day. We can use chatbot with mechanism and also with our algorithm to let those accurate information and trustworthy information be visible to the one who are in need. What we're trying to do is make a society can be cooperated and also connect together, and also show what we could do to stand with the democratic alliances. Actually, for quite a long time, Taiwan is suffering from those kind of Chinese propaganda. And also USA also suffering from disinformation from the Russian Federation, from some, now Iran, and some other malicious country. What we stand for is how democracy works, how freedom of speech can work, to talk about, to show public affairs, to show your value, to show what your concern is. And also, as long as we put it in our mind, and also with civic empowerment, we could never put freedom of speech as a conference issue for those well-educated people. Like in USA, in Taiwan, we do have a countryside, we also have a rural side. Me, myself, coming from the village, in my country, in my hometown, no one speaks English, people speak Taiwan, even few people speak Chinese. That's an issue, even inside the country, people show different kind of languages. People do show different kind of gap between their social status, their backgrounds, and also their family. With technology, it's our way to reach, to see, and also reduce the gap, not only the generation, the ages, the gender, and also different kind of social background. What we're trying to do is make openness and transparency can be helpful not only to our domestic issue, but also to our global partners. And we do have 2 mics over there, and now it's open discussion. If you do have any kind of question, just stand aside. And feel free to have any kind of question or discussion for me. Thank you.
Ms. Lee,
Hello.
This question is for you, and I think it's also relevant for the previous panel as well. It's about fact-checking and how important it is what you're doing, and also how it is consistent, I think, with free speech rather than a threat to free speech. And the reason I say that is one of the most powerful arguments in favour of free speech was written by an English philosopher called John Stuart Mill. And in 1859, he published his Essay on Liberty. And throughout that book, or essay, it's continual arguments concerning why free speech is important. But at one point in the book, he says, if there was a riot in front of a corn dealer's house and somebody passed around a placard saying, corn dealers are starvers of the poor, corn dealers are starvers of the poor, this, Mill said, would be impermissible speech. One, because it would be a direct incitement to violence, but two, I think implicitly he was arguing it would be disinformation. And this is why I think fact-checking, what you do, is so important, because if you have a president, for instance, who says, who decides that any election he hasn't won must be a stolen election, and he then propagates that message, and ultimately his supporters are so angry that on January 6th they storm Congress. I mean, speech has consequences. And equally, if China is concertedly active in subverting information and providing disinformation, it's important to check facts. And it's important to provide counter speech. So long as what these groups are saying are not removed from the internet, so long as there is not censorship and instead labelling and counter speech, then fact-checking and what you're doing and that sort of activity is consistent with free speech. And I think John Stuart Mill would agree with that.
Okay, thank you. Thank you, thank you. In my personal point of view, compared to those kind of like politician statement and also like, well, Chinese politician, how the government talk to people and how a politician talk to people. As a civic technology community, we're trying to facilitate our work with technology, but also provide trustworthy, provide trust, and also provide social good, civic good, to the one who we value for. For example, our engineers always focus on how to improve the fact check chatbot and how to talk to the politician and how to increase much more talk. Like as freedom of speech, that means we need to break on our echo chamber. However, due to the algorithm system, due to the closing chat room, like WhatsApp, like Telegram, like Facebook Messenger, actually, general public inside their like relative closing chat room, closing group, never listen to the one who are not inside their closing chat room. And that become an issue, especially before the election. We do see polarization. We do see people attack on each other. We do see people not only spread hate speech, but also never show their trust and never put they are in an equal status. However, people share the world and people share the ecosystem, the environment, and also people share the country. Since we want to make the people and we want to make the society can be much more inclusive than we against for, like censorship. We never imagine a world that if you talk about some issue the government doesn't like. We never think about a world if you talk about the issue that your boss doesn't like, then you might suffer from punishment. However, there was a real history in Taiwan itself. And also, I don't think that is rare to a lot of countries around the world. As long as we put that kind of like how we always bear that situation in mind, we consider the importance of freedom of speech. We do see even the liberal, even the liberty, even the freedom, even those kind of democracy value, actually, what make those kind of value really important is people do share those kind of importance. People do share that kind of value, like equality, like freedom of speech. Like people do have the will, people do have the right to say something they want to say. Only if different kind of walks of life, different kind of people, different kind of gender, even like pre-K, like the formal discussion they mentioned, those kind of literacy, those kind of education system can be available to different kind of people. And I always believe there might be a society we always want to live in for with freedom of speech. Thank you.